the French manager is now being prevailed upon to go into the dugout as the match gets underway. The Scottish fans building up some support for the home side. So we're now anxiously looking to see the way the Scottish team forms up for the early stages of the match. Certainly Steve Nicol is operating on the right side of midfield, and there's Scotland getting forward early on, and there's a flag up for the ball going out for a throw. It wasn't for offside, but there's the first hefty tackle of the match. Mo Johnston is certainly thoroughly displeased. Luke Sonor was number 4 there, who was pushing Mo Johnston away from the scene. But let's take a look at that tackle. There it goes, the tackle on the back by Sonor, and Mo Johnston was certainly irate. And that's a very hefty challenge right at the start of the match on the Scottish striker Ali McCoist, just back from injury, so that's a timely reminder to him that he's playing in a World Cup tie. So sitting beside me in the commentary box, as ever for these World Cup matches, the Manchester United manager Alec Ferguson. That was some tackle, Alec.
Well, that's the thing they have to expect when they're playing against the markers, Jock. And I said that before the game, that France will pay special attention to Maurice Johnson and Ali McCoist.
So this time the throw goes to Scotland. It was Thierry Laurie who carried the ball out. So the Scots trying to go forward. There's Battiston going across, pressurised by McCoist, but he's been through it all before. The 31-year-old Monaco sweeper. So Battiston with a long pass forward, and it's Gough playing in an orthodox right-back position at the start of the match. So Richard Gough at right back, McLeish and Gillespie in the middle, Maurice Malpass at left back, and that's for McCoist. It's well held up. The supporting player is Malpass, and you see the ball skidding there. The surface very difficult indeed. The players will be anxious to settle on this very wet playing surface. So the back four getting some practice, playing the ball around at the moment. Here's tonight's captain, Alec McLeish. Gillespie takes possession and sends it back to Jim Leighton. The Scottish fans not really appreciating that.
Well, I think the one thing that Scotland will try to do, Jock, is to get some early pressure on the French. They have relatively a new team, and they want to see, and I would like to see, how they're going to defend against Scotland's early attack.
Mo Johnston going over there with Sonor and Amoros. They both play for Monaco. He's won the throw for Scotland. There's Steve Nicol. It lasted only 10 minutes in Cyprus before he had to go off and be replaced by Ian Ferguson. Here's Malpass. Pass is well cut off by Amoros. In midfield is Laurie, number 8. He's winning his first cap tonight, the French midfield player. There's Richard Gough. Clearance by Sonor. And the French looking just a little bit uncertain there, and they try to work that ball out of defence. Here's Richard Gough with the throw. The run made by Roy Aitken. Pulling it back, and it's picked up there by Battiston for France. Gough was tackled quickly by Blanc. Number 10, Laurent Blanc from Montpellier, and the ball going across the face of the goal. With Ian Ferguson coming in, that appeared to be a clear push. It was a push on Sonor, and the Czechoslovakian referee right on the spot to give the free kick.
I think Ian Ferguson's youthfulness gave away the foul there. It's a little bit more experience, I would be saying, just hold here, let them make a mistake possibly. But Scotland have started well, Jock, and as I said, it's important to find out if this French team can defend, can they handle the atmosphere of Hampden.
Joel Bats, the goalkeeper from Paris Saint-Germain, winning his 45th cap tonight. Headed away by Gillespie. Played forward there by Sauzet. There's Sauzet again, dropping into the right back position, wearing number 6. Here's Zureb, very quick player indeed, and it was his speed and ability which forced that foul from Maurice Malpass. Well, Zureb is certainly a player who is respected in the Scottish camp. He's very quick indeed, the number 11. He's been preferred to the French Player of the Year of 1988, Stéphane Paille, who's on the bench. There's Sonor joining the attack. Jim Leighton crouched, waiting with his free kick. It will be taken by Papin. Headed out by Gillespie. There's Paul McStay. McCoy's challenging hard on Amoros. Did a good tackle by Roy Aitken. There's Ferguson, the early ball towards Johnston, who was caught just offside. Joel Batts was off his line like a sprinter to cut that off, but the flag was up against Johnston.
Yeah, Ian Ferguson showed good vision there, and I think Morris just strayed a little offside. If he just held his position, he was in a very clear position for a goal. But also give credit to the goalkeeper Batts. He's obviously going to be the extra sweeper behind the French defence.
Good header back that from Richard Gough, looking very confident indeed, as well he might. Key man in Cyprus with these two crucial goals. Johnston going up well with Sylvester, and there's Roy Aitken. That's a fine pass for Steve Nicol on the right. Nicol with Amoros. And the corner kick is given by the linesman. Amoros is unhappy about that. He made a very quick tackle on Nicol. Here comes Eric McLeish now to join the attack. McLeish right at the edge of the box. Richard Gough is also in there. There's Gough looking for space. That's towards McLeish. Headed back inside by Ferguson. Amoros getting the ball away from McStay. Gillespie chipping the ball forward, looking for McCoy. Battiston wins it. Here's Moray, the big midfield player, number 8, and help comes from Frank Sylvester. Aitken going in firmly, the challenge there. Sylvester looking very comfortable on the ball. A tackle that time by Malpass. Here's Moray from the social club, and the pass goes astray. Well, this is really hectic stuff, Alec, right at the start of the match.
Well, this is what we expect. It's Scotland at home match, and also with the wet surface, Jock, lends to a British type of game, and it is our traditional type of game. The one thing it does concern me a little is looking at the Scottish team, that they're going to be building most of their play in the right-hand side. They don't have a natural left side, and that once the French settle, they may then force Scotland to play in the left-hand side, which will be more awkward for us. But we'll wait and see, and we'll hope that Ian Ferguson provides the right balance for us.
Here's Thierry Loret again, playing it back into Battiston. Malpass content to let that run, and he'll accept the goal kick. Well, the importance of the start clear for both sides. Crucial for Scotland to start in a very stable, sensible fashion and try to play the match in the French half as much as possible. There's Gillespie looking very composed at the back. The pass goes wrong though. It was Amoros who won it. Pass comes from Durand. Here's Durand again. Bundled down by Gough. And Durand appeared to be waiting for the challenge.
I think you give points out of 10 for that, Jock, don't you?
Well, the points translated into free kick to France. There's Zoreb. That's good play by the French. And the first time effort from Loret, and there was a touch there by Jim Leighton. Well, this was fine play, a 1-2 just outside the box. There was Leighton at full stretch, and that was a superb save.
Yeah, it's an excellent save from Jim Leighton there, and a very good 1-2 by the French. Interesting point is that they will play to feet tonight, Jock, with such wet conditions. The French did that.
There's Papin's corner kick right to the far side, looking for Sonor, who was pushing McLeish. And the Scots have a free kick, but there was a very timely reminder of the technique and skills of the French. That move ending with a shot which wanted the good save from Leighton, and that of course will do his confidence a lot of good. Didn't have the best of matches by his standards in Cyprus, but a very important early save tonight. There's Paul McStay looking for Johnston. The interception was by Loret. Back with Battiston. Batts and Battiston, such important, experienced players at the back for France. There's Batts, the keeper. Gough's header, looking for Steve Nicol. Into midfield, McStay was quick. Good play from Paul McStay. This is Malpass. Through the middle is McCoy. The tackle came from Sonar. A fine challenge that was from the number 4. And Gillespie providing depth in the centre of the Scottish defence, going in behind McLeish to cut off the run made by Jean-Pierre Papin. Ian Ferguson's header. There's Mo Johnston. And down went Blanc. He did not appear to be caught there by Malpass, but he certainly went down in dramatic fashion, and he has won the free kick for France. Maurice Malpass made his Scottish debut for Scotland against France nearly 5 years ago in a 2-0 victory for the French. So there was Malpass with a challenge on Blanc, which resulted in a free kick. And the shot with the French number 7 Durand off balance goes over the top, but they certainly have shown a willingness to come forward and test the Scottish defence.
Well, also, Jock, just as they've settled the teams, France are playing with a 3 at the back, 4 pushed into midfield and 3 up front, which is really a positive way of approaching the problem. Most teams will play with a 3 at the back and 5 in the midfield and 2 up. But give credit to the French. They've started well and they've started positively.
The French in possession once again. Some beautiful control there from Blanc. There's Paul McStay, and he forces a tackle from Laurent Blanc, number 10, who's supporting a front partnership of Papin and Zverev for France. There's McLeish under pressure from Papin, using Tim Leighton. Now Gillespie and Goff. Gillespie again. It's fired towards McCoy, but once again a good challenge, this time by Sylvester. Tackle came from Ian Ferguson. Ball remains in play. Battiston controlling things at the back for the French. France using Sonar and Sylvester as markers on McCoy and Johnston. Good play again from McStay to win possession for Scotland. That's for McCoy. There's Johnston going down. The referee is not interested in the Scottish appeals as the French bring the ball clear. But there are signs now that Paul McStay is asserting himself creatively in the middle of the field. There's Papin, and that interception, an important one by Richard Goff. Here's Nicol taking on Amoros. Here to be impeded. The referee has given the decision Scotland's way. Steve Nicol looking appealingly towards the referee, but it was a throw to Scotland, taken quickly by Goff. There's Gary Gillespie. Johnston well beaten in the air. There's Nicol with Aiken. This is for Johnston. Excellent pass. He's brought down very late, Johnston. A very bad tackle after the ball had gone. Here's Malpass. That's a corner kick to Scotland. Patrick Battiston was involved, but Mo Johnston was taken right out of the play after he released the pass, and that really was a bad tackle. Let's have a look at that one again. Johnston doing well. Now he's well out of reach here. Sylvester was coming in now to make that challenge. Well, referee Stiegler did not appear to see the culprit, so let's see if the linesman can help him and take some action about this, because Mo Johnston is very angry indeed about it. Ali McCoy already has had a hefty tackle on him. The referee is having a word now with Sylvester.
I must admit, Jock, I didn't think it was a serious challenge. I thought Mo maybe played for a bit.
Well, there's a Scottish corner kick, and Goff denied the chance. There's the shot by Anton Nicol, but it's scrambled away by the French defence. Richard Goff is incensed about that. Let's see if he was pushed and he went for this. The French defender appeared to manhandle Goff in the act of heading that for goal.
Yeah, it was something there, Jock. Scotland could feel unhappy with that.
The Scots piling on the pressure now. There's McLeish with Goff. That's well taken by Bats. Well, that certainly will rub spirits even more, I'm sure. Richard Goff coming in behind McLeish for the header. Well taken by Bats. Well, now it looks as though the Czechoslovakian referee, Jiří Stiegler, may well have a great deal of work to do tonight. Temper's rising. There's the scoreline after 15 minutes of all-out hectic action. There's Gillespie looking a picture of calmness on the Scottish defence. And there's another incident off the ball. Well, this is becoming really outrageous. Sonor taking McCoist out of the play while the pass was on its way.
Well, one thing you've got to say, Jock, is two countries with great passion, and it certainly came across tonight. Both teams take a lot of credit for the passion they brought to the game.
Not so much for the All Alliance tonight. There's Gillespie's free kick, looking for Goff. There's Johnston! And there was no offside, that's a chance, and Johnston claimed his jersey was held. Let's look at Richard Goff here, getting up so well for Scotland, nodding it down. Johnston trying to turn that on target, and that was a great chance for Scotland.
It certainly was, Jock. It was a chance in an early part of the game which would have made it a great start for Scotland, and very important for them.
What an incredible match this is so far. Well, any suggestion that either of these sides are short of passion can certainly be dispelled already. Again, Ferguson doing well in that challenge. Superbly tackled by Battiston. The long ball forward catches Aiken offside. Aiken supporting the attack with a powerful run, but the timing wasn't quite right. There's Michel Platini with instructions for the French player. Still not in the dugout. He's actually standing actually in the enclosure.
I bet he wishes he was on the park, eh? We don't, but he was just...
Well, that's a fine ball followed by Blanc. The tackle was by Gillespie. That's excellent play by Gillespie. Here's Paul McStay. That was intended for Johnston, but cut up by Sylvester. Richard Goff's challenge on Zureb. Fleece for the clearance. That appeared to be handball by Soze, but has the referee given it?
That's the great thing about football management. You still think you're better than the players, and the players think they can manage better than you, Jock.
Well, the players aren't doing a bad job right at the moment, and there's another fine tackle, this time by Durand, number 7. There's Maurice Malpass with a throw. Mo Johnston may well be a target. Well, Johnston's courage and that of Ali McCoy has been put to the test already. Fine ball by Johnston. There's Ian Ferguson with a cross. No one coming in the far post. Steve Nicol just a shade too deep. The throw goes to France. That is Manuel Amoros. Thumped upfield, and Gary Gillespie confident enough to collect it and use Alec McLeish. Here's Malpass. Ian Ferguson dropping off on the left side of midfield. That's for Johnston. The head flick on, reaches McCoist, and down goes Ali McCoist once again. It appeared almost inevitable. Luc Sonor of Monaco was the culprit once again. Well, he's got a ponytail, but certainly nothing effeminate about the challenge. There's Ian Ferguson now. A little bit casual with a pass towards McStay. That's a fine ball chipped forward there by Durand. This is Loré, and on the far side, Amoros. Very dangerous player indeed when he gets the chance to come forward. And Gillespie very much in control of the situation at the back for Scotland. Well, he'd have to run for the goal kick.
The great thing when you play the French or the top Europeans is the contrast in styles. You see the little 1-2s from the French, and then you've got our direct and positive play. A lovely balance to the game.
Here's Durand. And Amoros. Good play again from midfield with Loré very much involved, winning his first cap and looking very experienced indeed. Very composed midfield player. There's Steve Nicol. It's back now with Richard Goff. Here's Gary Gillespie. Good running by McCoist. Misunderstanding there. He had to go and retrieve that ball for himself. It was Soze, number 6, who made the challenge. Maurice Malpass. Well, that was read well by Sylvester, that move from Mo Johnston. He made a good tackle that time. Here's Johnston again. And a free kick for the challenge by Sylvester, pushing into the back of Mo Johnston. Now here's a chance for Scotland again from a set piece. McLeish goes forward, Goff goes forward. Roy Aitken will take it. Right across the far side, but no Scottish player available for that, and a wasted opportunity. Richard Goff has to make the long run back, and that was a disappointment for the Scots. A little chat there Roy Aitken is having with McLeish and Goff.
I think in the modern game where there's so much emphasis on set pieces, it's important that Roy doesn't waste things like that. It's they're saying statistics now that 70% of the goals are scored from set pieces.
That's for Papin, the covering player is Gillespie. That appeared to be handball. Now the referee didn't appear to give it. In fact, that would have counted. The ball has gone wide of the post. Jean-Pierre Papin hangs his head. Now let's look at this again. Handball clearly there to go away from Gary Gillespie, and it really is just as well that shot was off target. Well, some dramatic moments again at Hampden Park. And you heard from Arthur Montford before the match how many countries were taking this match tonight, and we have one very interested listener in Chile. That's Rod Stewart, who's listening to the match by commentary on a telephone line from Santiago. He couldn't be here tonight, can't see the pictures, but he is listening to see how Scotland are faring. So let's hope he has some good news before the night is out. Here goes Steve Nicol, a good move from Scotland, and here's Ferguson coming in. Ferguson just about 3 yards short of that pass from Nicol.
It was excellent play, Jock. This is the kind of thing we expect from Steve Nicol. He was bearing in the shot just wide, but Ian Ferguson also just a fraction late.
But good to see Steve Nicol showing signs of his Liverpool form. There's Gillespie, through the middle it goes, and it was Battiston who read that well. McCoist went in behind him. Referee waving play on as the French player went down. It was Sauzet. There's Sauzet again. Blanc plays it into midfield for Loré. There's Sylvester. On the far side, Sona finds Amoros. Good possession play from the French. Well, no longer after that tackle from Aitken. Playing the ball wide for Johnston. The covering player getting back is Frank Sauzet of Marseille. Using his goalkeeper, Johnston putting a lot of pressure on Sauzet. With the long ball forward. McLeish with the header sideways to find Malpass. It's a good challenge by Frank Sylvester. He was in very quickly that time on McCoist. The French central defenders switching their duties. They haven't got the same player marking McCoist and Johnston all the time. They're interchanging a little. But there are some signs of anxiety in the Scottish bench about the treatment of the two Scottish strikers so far. There are Scottish substitutes already warming up. And Kevin Gallagher, Brian McClare and David Speedy are candidates to come on at some time in the match up front. There's Gillespie. Nicol coming this time behind Goff. Nicol allowing that to run for a throw. Here's Paul McStay. Trying to find space away from Loré. Pass finds Goff. Johnston couldn't reach it. Linking there with McCoist, and that overhead effort wasn't, I don't think, a real attempt on goal. And could break down the French defence. There's Blanc. Blanc has proved himself very skillful, but he's lost out in midfield this time to McStay. That's good play by McStay. Gillespie springing from the back four position into midfield. The pass finds McCoist. Here's Johnston, wriggling away from his marker. On the far side is Steve Nicol. Promising move from Scotland. There's McCoist. Well, a shooting chance for Ali McCoist. He tried to tee it up for Gary Gillespie. What a chance for Scotland again. Breaking down the French defence. The layoff from McCoist intended for Gillespie, and he could well have shot at on the volley.
Well, the one thing, Jock, they are creating little chances for themselves, Scotland, by good play and by maybe the conditions that for the defenders of the French team, it's hard to pin them down all the time. But there are certain things that are pleasing me, and maybe we can score 1 or 2 goals tonight.
A free kick to France. Mo Johnston caught offside as that long ball came forward. It's Patrick Battiston who will take the free kick. Gillespie is first to the ball. It's now with Paul McStay. That's a neat turn by McStay. Malpass supporting from the left. No chance there of Ferguson reaching the pass. Zverev going forward. Now Gary Gillespie again, the essence of coolness at the back for Scotland. There's Richard Gough. And down goes Ali McCoist once again, and you begin to wonder just how much of this kind of treatment the Scottish strikers can take. It was Sonor again. McCoist with the layoff. Sonor coming in from the back. Well, Ali McCoist a very strong player indeed. So too is Mo Johnston, but they really are being tested to the full. Gough is in the box. There's Gillespie. Now pass, hoisting it high in the air to beat the offside trap. Richard Gough goes up. Here's McStay. He has Ferguson on the left. But he was bundled to the ground there as he tried to play the pass. Durand complains. The rain falling steadily now at Hampden as Paul McStay wins this free kick. There's the incident again, and I think from that Paul McStay was very lucky indeed. Durand did not appear to commit any infringement at all, but the referee has given the free kick, and one of those set pieces that Alex Ferguson was so anxious Scotland should utilise properly. So Nicol is there with McStay. Here's Ian Ferguson. Superb challenge by Papin. Closed down Ferguson very quickly indeed. Here's McLeish. Forced to play it back to Gillespie. Malpass indicates he'll beat the offside trap. And there was a foul again, this time on Gary Gillespie by Zverev. The Scots have a free kick once more, and a chance for Richard Gough to join the attack once again.
They don't seem to be concerned about giving away the free kicks, the French. I certainly would be worried if I was Michel Platini. Eventually, it can maybe lose the big game.
McLeish signalling for Gillespie's free kick. Gough is up there with him. There's McCoist. Now Johnston. Yes, Scotland have scored. 28 minutes into the first half. The World Cup specialist Mo Johnston does it again. The shot came from Ali McCoist. Look at the control here from Johnston. The coolness in front of goal. And Scotland are ahead.
Well, it's amazing. I just opened my mouth about the number of free kicks that have been given away, and they lose the goal, Jock. But credit to Mo, he controlled it well from the first place. It may have been a slightly offside, but nonetheless it counts, and the French can only blame themselves now, Jock.
Oh, what a World Cup it is for Maurice Johnston. He scored in Norway, he scored here against Yugoslavia, he scored again in Cyprus, and he's done it once again for Scotland here against France. A superb, opportunist striker's goal. And the French now coming forward, they'll still be menacing, there's no question about that. There's Loré. Scots will now be determined to settle on their lead. Here's Sylvester running into Ian Ferguson. Aiken challenging well, there's Paul McStay. Tackle this time by Aiken. Scotland tackling furiously now. Half an hour nearly on the clock. Scotland leading by 1-0. Mo Johnston is scoring. Here come the French on the counter-attack. A superb tackle by Gillespie. And here's Roy Aiken. Ball played forward, and McCoist and Johnston both appear to be offside. But just listen to the bedlam around Hampden now.
It's a marvellous atmosphere, and what a difference from the last game in Cyprus, Jock. We'd always won this type of football at international level. It's a great advert.
Half an hour gone, Scotland in the lead, and that's Ian Ferguson's pass, which Johnston couldn't reach. Here comes Battiston for France. Sauzet in the right back position, number 6, going in field, very comfortable on the ball. On the far side is Amoros. There's Steve Nicol, charging forward now. He has the pace to go all the way himself, taking on Sonar. Now using Goff. The early ball comes across. Here's Johnston. And the shot goes inches wide. Scotland now in full cry, led there by Steve Nicol. This was a superb ball by Richard Goff. Look at the control now from Johnston, trying to steal it into the far corner, and it's just wide of the uprights.
The ball just landed a fraction in front of him there when he had to take a first touch, and if he had been able to contact right away, then maybe another goal. But certainly took up great position and great play from Steve Nicol.
Well, the Scottish fans relishing the occasion now to the full, but just a moment to remember that Scotland have had the lead in all their World Cup qualifiers so far, and they have been pulled back to equality. There's still a bit of work to do now. There's a dramatic fall by Durand, which I think has pitted on the Czechoslovakian referee. Gary Gillespie has been penalised. So this is a menacing moment to the Scottish defence. The big French defenders have come forward. Sonar is there. Sylvester is also up. The dead ball specialist Jean-Pierre Papin will take this. Given away by Goff. There's Durand. Crossed by Amoros, there's Alec McLeish. A fine interception there by Sauzet, giving Zurab possession, making for the byline, and that's well cut off by Malpas.
One thing that's certainly important, Jock, that the point they're making about the French being a changed team, it's important now for Scotland to try and assert that authority. They are looking a bit nervous at the back.
So the French with the corner kick, taken by Papin. Right to the far post, too high for everyone. Amoros retrieves it. Looks it in again. There goes Maurice Malpas. McLeish trying to cut it off. Turning it away for a throw to the French. Leading by example, the Aberdeen centre-half. Manuel Amoros has seen all this before. Only 27 years old, but he's had a very long, distinguished international career. And the ball goes behind. It was Laurent Blanc who was challenging. Good play there by Zurab. Turning it back to Amoros for the long cross. The header coming in there, in fact, from Sauzet. There he is, Frank Sauzet, heading the ball wide. Jim Leighton's goal kick, not too convincing, and Ian Ferguson will feel he should have controlled that. The French having possession again. A very important phase in the match. Closing stages of the first half. Good play again from the French, linking brilliantly. And yet another superb effort from Thierry Laurey. There he is, the Sochaux number 8. A series of passes there, ending with that powerful shot just wide of the post.
Well, we always ask the question to your own players or your team, what do you do when you lose a goal? And I think the French have got their answer, get attacking. I think it's a great positive reaction from them. And let's hope Scotland can weather this and do something themselves.
There goes Amoros for France, going outside Richard Goff. Steve Nicol has immediately dropped back to support and defence. There's Battiston now coming from the back, linking with Laurey. Now Laurey's been a revelation in midfield for France. That pass going behind Amoros, and he's supposed to play it into that defensive position for Luc Sonar. Battiston striding forward. Paul McStay winning it well in midfield. Brilliant dummy, but Johnston is offside. Well, signs though that Paul McStay is very much involved in the match tonight.
He's been absolutely superb. His willingness to work and also to create and win the ball for Scotland. And he's looking fresh, Jock. At this time of year, it's important to look at that part. Paul is looking really fresh and bright tonight.
Here's some space on the left for the French. Steve Nicol doing some defensive work, so did Paul McStay, and there's Jim Leighton. Brilliant goalkeeping by Leighton. Under intense pressure by Daniel Zureb. What an awkward ball this was. Played in by Duron, deflected across, and there was Leighton going down at the feet of Zureb.
A brave save.
There's Steve Nicol. Duron got a touch, allowing Amoros to collect for France. Blanc called for the ball in space in midfield. That's alarming for the Scots. Here's Loré. Amoros again seeing more and more of the ball now on the left side of the midfield for France. That's good play again. Battiston going forward. The shot came from Blanc. There was an offside decision against Papin, but just look at the way he takes this first time on the volley. The outside of the boot, it was saved well by Leighton.
A beautifully struck ball. I would just say at this point that everything that Scotland are doing is all up the right hand side, just the point I'm making earlier. There is a distinct lack of balance in the team. I'm sure that Platini will observe this at half time.
Well, Johnston running into a tight corner and losing possession. Here come the French again. Long taking on Malpass, but then caught by Gillespie. That was a free kick for the late challenge on Gillespie. Well, free kick to Scotland. Gillespie leaving this one to Alec McLeish. Johnston looking for space once again. Well, McLeish with a free kick, looking for Richard Gough, who appear to be sandwiched between two players. Scotland still have possession. Here's Steve Nicol. Got in two minds and using Roy Aitken in the end. There's no offside. Here's Nicol if he can reach this. Well, Steve Nicol might have benefited from a very fast cross on that occasion, but chose to try to find an accurate pass from that wide position. There will be a throw right at the corner flag. Manuel Amoros of Monaco, winning his 60th cap tonight. One of the three survivors from the match against Yugoslavia, along with Frank Sauzet and Joel Bats on the French side. There's Ian Ferguson crossing over the far side. Here goes Mo Johnston, and Bats is off his line quickly. Well, just no one now on the left side of the Scottish midfield for the moment. Good interception by Malpass. There's Ian Ferguson. Crossing it past Duron. This is Battiston. Richard Gough's header finding McStay in space in the middle of the field. It's a measured ball from Nicol if he has enough pace. And the ball skidding off the wet surface behind for the goal kick. Well, in dry conditions, that would have been a superb pass from McStay to Nicol.
I must say I'm really surprised at Amoros, a player of great experience, and we're talking about the threat from Scotland. The space keeps being created in that side. Steve Nicol has given Amoros one heck of a time.
Header from Gough finds McCoist. Here's Paul McStay. Looks up to find Ferguson available on the left. Gillespie, McLeish. Not quite so positive this time from Scotland, but they have retained possession. Now it's with Gough on the far side. McLeish collects on the near side now, on the Scottish left. Sets it up for Gillespie, who has been entrusted with the task of launching these Scottish attacks from deep positions. Pass is too strong for Steve Nicol. Ali McCoist protesting to his central defender that he was available for a pass delivered up the middle. So 5 minutes remaining in this incredible first half. Scotland leading by Mo Johnston's goal. Roy Aitken pumping it forward. Johnston wasn't allowed to run there by Sylvester. Looking again towards the referee in vain. Battiston to Sonor. Teammates. Sonor and Battiston and Amaros and the French team all play for Monaco. There's Gillespie's header. Ian Ferguson trying to find Boris Malpass with a pass, and he's very fortunate to see the offside flag up against Papin. Well, Ferguson certainly lacking nothing in effort. Things haven't quite gone his way tonight so far.
At half-time, I'm sure that Andy will be making all the points that will be important in terms of getting the result. I always say that games are won and lost at half-time, Jock. And the one thing that I would be thinking about is the 1-2s the French are playing. I think it's important that Scotland keep their discipline and not watch the ball in these situations.
There's brilliant play in midfield from Blanc. French, a team full of skill. There's Blanc again, but given no time that time by McStay, hustling into the tackle. French throw finds Durand. Loré couldn't direct the pass. Here's Alec McLeish. Early pass this time to Johnston. Now it's for McCoist. And Sonor just made that at full stretch. But a much quicker release from the back that time from Scotland, appreciated by the front players. Referee indicating that Malpass should go 5 or 6 yards further on for the throw. So the runs required to be made again. Here's Johnston, regular receiver of these throws. Up comes Gough. A superb header from Richard Gough, arriving unnoticed on the far side of the box to take this cross from Mo Johnston. A fine header wide of the target.
Well, it was too far out for the expected goal, but still it was a marvellous spring by Richard. I know, but unfortunate.
So is he up the line for Malpass to win it? He's fouled immediately by Papin. Gillespie sends it back. These crucial closing minutes of the first half. Just 2 minutes remaining in the first half, and Scotland leading by 1-0 and determined to win at half-time in front. That may well be the priority now until half-time. There's Malpass with a good interception. Using Gillespie, the Scottish fans want the ball going forward though. Well, not to a French head like Sylvester. Here's Papin. Over on the far side is Amaros. Paul McStay intercepts. Checking to find space, but he's lost possession again. Here's Malpass. The early pass this time, looking for Mo Johnston. Selfless running once again from Johnston. He has support inside, still going himself. There's Ian Ferguson. Now McCoist. It's not one count. It won't count. There's an offside decision. Maurice Johnston caught offside. There he goes, releasing the pass. The first time shot from Ferguson. Johnston is offside as McCoist drills this into the top corner.
Well, Ali McCoist can be unhappy about that. Actually, Mo Johnston was the one who strayed into offside. But what a great finish by McCoist. Unfortunate for him.
And very unfortunate indeed for the Scottish cause. That would have made an immense difference. The second goal before the interval. Begs the old question again about players interfering when they're offside. There's Paul McStay, now Johnston. Careless ball, it's Loré who collects. Durand to Blanc. Well challenged by Richard Gough. Malpass sprinting through the inside left channel, making that angle for Ali McCoist. That was great play from Malpass. Here's Malpass once again. tackled by Blanc. That's a throw to Scotland. There's barely enough time for it to be taken though. And there goes the half-time whistle. A tremendous... The rain has been falling steadily all through the half-time interval and is still falling now. And the Scottish players and the French players have all changed their
game. And Scotland started the first half very, very well. Contained France for the first 15 minutes, which is always the most vulnerable time for any team in the league. France want to do something about it. The manager will have pepped them up at half-time. He was speaking about trying to regain something out of the match and attack Scotland. The first 15 minutes are vital. Scotland have got to assert their authority. And I think the point that Ian St John has made, that they've got to keep peppering shots in at the French goal. Keep the ball in their half of the park as much as they can.
No changes evident in the lineups at the start of the second half. There's the Battiston. Came off there of Nicol, then Amoros. Amoros had a few problems coping with Steve Nichol's powerful runs on the right side of the Scottish midfield in the first half. Ian Ferguson caught out there by Laurent Blanc. Here's Zereb. Support coming from the far side from Sauzet, and it's good play there by Malpas, getting help from Gary Gillespie, who's pulled down by Sauzet. So a free kick, I think, to Scotland. Yes, the referee is indicating to Gary Gillespie that it is a free kick, but there will be a hold-up because Maurice Malpas requires treatment. Now the masked pipe band still departing and playing furiously despite the fact the match has restarted.
I think they're trying to frighten the French, Jock. They may go behind the goal.
Well, heading towards Yoel Bats at the moment in the French goal, but the music stops. Back to something like normality. A big cheer for the bands from the fans. And it's all attention now on the play on the field. So here come the French again. They've made another brisk start with Laurent Blanc. Tackled back there by Roy Aitken, and Blanc, guilty of a handoff on Aitken, is penalised, so Scotland have a free kick. It'll be taken by Richard Gough. With another excellent first half for Scotland. McCoy with a touch on, and Johnston is being held all the way by Sonar. No question about that. The referee has given a corner kick, and that indeed seems doubtful. But it may well have been a foul before the shot went in. Now look at the two players tangling there. Well, in fact, both players holding jerseys, and in fact it was touched behind by Bats. Well, what a joust between Sonar and Johnston. Johnston has drawn first blood with that opening goal. There's Richard Gough, major threat in the box for Steve Nichol's corner kick. Come back to Nicol. And there's Ferguson trying to retrieve it on the far side. Turned out in the end by Sauzet. So throw to Scotland. And another enterprising move there involving the front two, McCoist and Johnston at the start of the second half. There's McCoist going again with Sonar, the tackling player. Sonar and McCoist together again. There's Ferguson. Papin laying it off into midfield. That's for Zereb, with Gough winning the race. The man at the back is Gary Gillespie. Here's Gough again. The run is made instantly by Maurice Johnston. Look at the control there as he finds McStay inside. Here's Steve Nicol. Nicol under pressure, waiting for Gough. Hefty tackle by Zereb as Gough released the ball. And Richard Gough limping after that challenge from Zereb. Very tough tackle again. Gough shrugging it off. Johnston trying to get away from Sylvester, and it's Roy Aitken who's tackling hard in midfield, bringing down Papin. And there's Paul McStay having his jersey held by Loré. Papin was brought down by Aitken. Here's Amoros. Blanc is number 10. This is Durand. Laying that right across to the far side where Battiston has gone. Is immediately closed down by Ian Ferguson. And now it's with Sonor. Durand comes off McStay to take the pass, and that's Battiston again who can launch an attack for France. There's Zureb. Well, that return pass was intended for Zureb, but Alec McLeish was there well ahead of him. Daniel Zureb, a very lively customer up front, but he's been given precious few openings so far.
Scotland are not allowing France to dictate the game in any way. The quick tackling, pressure on the ball is something that French football they don't do there. And it's a good start to the second half for Scotland.
That's brilliant play from France, and the offside flag halts that move. It was Zureb, but again there was some great inventive play from midfield. We started with a pass by Battiston, but the free kick goes to Scotland, which Gary Gillespie will take. Played towards McStay. Here's Gillespie again. Some work for Nicol. Back it goes to Goff. Lots of running up front. An offside flag against Ali McCoist. With plenty of movement coming from McCoist and Johnston whenever Scotland have possession in the middle of the field. Sauzet back to Sylvester. There's Sauzet again linking with Zureb. There's Stevie Nicol challenging hard but losing out. It's the French who come forward again. It's a good build-up this. Here's Amoros. Stopped by Richard Goff, and then a hefty collision with Aiken. McCoist teeing that up for Paul McStay, who was eased off the ball. Well, the referee allowing Battiston to go forward after Laurie's blatant push there on Paul McStay.
I think once the game gets in towards the middle of the second half and the pace drops a little, Scotland will have to remember one important aspect of the game. They are in the lead, and keeping possession of the ball will be very, very important.
Well, Gary Gillespie putting some hearts and mouths there, but very much in control of the position. There's a loose pass by Richard Goff, giving the throw to France. Manuel Amoros will take it. Member of the side which won the European Championship in 1984 and had that great World Cup in '86. Here's Nicol. And Goff, that's through the middle from McCoist. He's onside. And a good interception there by Sonor. There's McCoist again winning it back. There's Nicol's cross. The header by Johnston. 7 minutes gone in the second half. It's Maurice Johnston once again for Scotland. Brilliant play by McCoist, then by Nicol. The flying header by Johnston, and Bat couldn't keep it out. Johnston takes the acclaim of the Scottish fans for this superb header, which Joel Bats really ought to have saved.
Well, I don't think Monsieur Bats will be pleased with that one, but nonetheless, it's a goal for Scotland. A great cross from Steve Nicol, and the second one for Mo. What a good night for him.
So 2-0 to Scotland. Mo Johnston undoubtedly the goal scorer, despite the fumble by Bats. So there is a tremendous start to the second half from Scotland, and there was some marvellous play there involving Ali McCoist and Steve Nicol. But the French are coming back again. Here's Blanc. Amoros appears on the left. Laying it in for Blanc once again. Here's Zureb. Malpass with a tackle, appeals for a penalty, and there's a foul on Malpass. Papin is very angry there. He thinks he should have had a penalty kick. He's protesting to the referee. So the free kick taken by McLeish. There is some activity on the Scottish bench. There's going to be a change as Sonor crunches into McCoist once again.
Well, I see that Gordon Strachan is stripped down at the front. It could be coming on from Ian Ferguson, and I would suggest this is to bring a bit of authority and composure to Scotland. A vital stage where, as I said earlier, keeping the ball will be important.
The singing from the Scottish fans, it really is like old times again. The Scotland leading by 2-0, and great value for their fine performance so far. So the change is now going to be made by Scotland. It's Ian Ferguson who will come off. Up goes the number 10 for Ferguson. He'll not be happy at all about coming off, you can be sure of that, but he has taken a couple of knocks. He has battled well. He gets congratulations from Roy Aitken and from Richard Gough as he goes off. So Ferguson, who worked tirelessly throughout that first half, didn't find things going all his own way, but battled every inch of the way. He goes off, and the experienced figure of Gordon Strachan comes on to win his 42nd cap for Scotland.
Well, I think young Ian Ferguson could be pleased with himself. He's a young lad, he's playing in the wrong side of a path from which he's normally accustomed to, so he can be pleased with himself.
Here's Steve Nicol now, will switch to the left for Scotland. Strachan's on the right, Nicol is now on the left. Looking for the kind of balance which Alec Ferguson has been talking about tonight. Experienced player Gordon Strachan, a valuable man to bring on at this stage in a tense battle. There's Aitken, and with a free kick given against Steve Nicol for showing his studs in that challenge. There will be a free kick to France, and the French also considering a substitution. Michel Platini on the track, orchestrating a change in their ranks. Going to bring on, I think, Stefan Pye to play up front. There's Paul McStade, full stretch. Up goes Strachan. There's Richard Gough. He'll let that run. I'm sure Amoros trying to keep the ball in play. He does so, but only for the benefit of Jim Leighton. Free kick there for that challenge. Noel Johnston being marked now by Sylvester, the 2-goal man for Scotland, taking his Scottish tally to 11 in 25 international. That's a great strike rate for any international player. And here's Nicol now, switched to his new role on the left side of midfield. That's a careless pass. So here come the French again. Now it's Durand in midfield with Amoros. Battiston coming forward. There's Gordon Strachan with a tackle. Good play from Battiston. Interception was by Aitken. That's a great ball play by Amoros into Blanc. Here's Durand. Stopped there by Gary Gillespie's firm interception. And now the change will be made by France. They're bringing on a fresh striker in the form of Stefan Pye of Sochaux, who will replace Jean-Philippe Durand. There is Durand.
Going back to that earlier tackle by Gordon Strachan, I just wonder when he started that, Gordon. You know, Joe, I'm going to ask him that tomorrow.
Manchester United player on the field for Scotland. There's Stefan Pye going on, the striker, the player of the year in France in 1988. Another fine strike from Loré. He beats his thighs in frustration there as Platini organises his side. A great piece of goalkeeping again by Jim Leighton on this treacherous surface. I'm sure Alec Ferguson will confirm Jim Leighton wasn't entirely happy with his performance in Cyprus, but he can be very pleased so far tonight. McCoy beaten to the ball there by Battiston, not enough pace on the pass.
I always think that if anyone's trying shots from outside the box against Jim Leighton, they can forget all about it.
Strachan going forward, and the pass finds Ali McCoy offside. Well, what impact do you think, Alec, that Gordon Strachan can make in the closing 40 minutes or so?
Well, I think that what he'll do is he'll give them that little hold of the ball, because the clock's against the French now. You can't beat the clock. Time's running out. Gordon can bring a bit of composure and possession of the ball, and a little bit of authority, which he's always been great at.
There's Pye playing in midfield for the moment. Here's Laurent Blanc, number 10. Battiston seeing more and more of the ball now for France. That's won by Aiken for Paul McStay. Pass intended for Johnston. Good defensive play this time by Sonor. Charging forward on the left, followed all the way back there by Johnston. So there is the clock indicating there's half an hour of this World Cup qualifier to go. Scotland with that healthy scoreline, provided single-handed by Mo Johnston. In terms of goal scoring at any rate, he's had some tremendous support from his teammates to create the chances. Ali McCoist involved in both the build-ups, and Steve Nicol delivered the cross for that second goal.
I think it's interesting to know that the difference in the two countries now, that France have their great days. In the substitutions, Scotland have brought in a man of gaunt striking stature, and France have brought in an unknown player, and therein lies the difference, I think.
Well, an unknown but very promising 21-year-old. Star of the under-21 side last season. He's on now to win his 7th cap for France. French going forward again. There's Loré with the pass to Amoros. There's Pye. Steve Nicol put under pressure there. A dramatic dive, and the referee doesn't appear to be interested. And there's Maurice Malpas. Kept the ball in play. Fine play indeed by Maurice Malpas. Winning his 25th cap tonight, the Dundee United fullback. Thoroughly reliable, consistent performer at left back.
And a very, very good player too, Jock. Very underestimated, but a marvellous temperament for football. Clever on the ball, and certainly been an outstanding player tonight, as is the whole back four and the goalkeeper. No failures, Jock. A good team performance, but there's still time to go. I think it's important Scotland now start thinking of goals.
Well, you have the feeling a third goal would surely clinch the tie. There's Richard Gough going in for the tackle. The advantage will apply as Battiston picks it up, finding Sauzet on the far side. Here's Sylvester and Pye, number 14. Loré in midfield. Here's Paul McStay. And a quieter start to the second half. That's a good pass. Here's Mo Johnston. McCoist goes outside him on the left. Johnston retaining possession, using Aiken. Now with Nicol. Tackle came from Battiston, but it's still Nicol going forward. The ball is turned out in the end by Thierry Loré. Beginning to show some signs that the pace is telling on him now, the young midfield player. An excellent first half, the number 8, but it looks as though he may be toiling a shade now.
Well, I don't think there's any pattern to the French team now. I think that inexperience has caught up with him in the match, and for me that Scotland were well on the way to a victory.
There's McLeish winning it not once but twice. The long ball forward gets in behind Malpas. Here's Papin, and of course goes Gillespie with that leisurely stride which eats up the ground. What a superb player he's been for Scotland tonight. Well, it's not difficult to see why Andy Roxburgh was so anxious to have Gillespie in his back four for this match.
The pleasing aspect about Gary Gillespie is he's only 2 games back for Liverpool. He's been out for 5-6 months, and it says a lot for the lad's fitness and attitude that he's performed so well.
There's McLeish winning it in the air from Papin. Papin becoming more and more unhappy as the game goes on, complaining again to the referee. That'll be a throw to France near the corner flag. Scottish fans indicating that they find it an easy performance, and that certainly is tempting fate a little, I think. Laid back by Pye. There was Paul McStay's challenge, giving the throw to France. Well, I mentioned in the first half that Scotland had taken the lead in all their World Cup qualifiers and had been brought back to equality, but they have never before had a 2-goal lead in any of these matches. That's a free kick conceded just inside the French half by McLeish.
If France are going to be their danger, then winning by goals tonight could be very, very vital to them. They can't ease up. I don't think you could ever ease up in international football. But here is an excellent opportunity to do something really positive and making sure they're going to Italy.
Zamaros tackled by Strachan. Loré plays it inside. There's a good move from the French, and the deflection and the shot from Papin, and once again the ball sticks to Jim Leighton's hands like glue. Set up again by Loré with a great pass inside. It was set up well there for Papin, and look how it's taken by Leighton. Ball is in behind Sonar. The inevitable chasing Scotsman is Mo Johnston, putting pressure on Battiston and winning the throw. Now that was great play by Johnston once again, running fully 40 yards to win a throw for Scotland. Steve Nicol. This is McCoist. Missing out Nicol with a pass. It's a stage in the game where Ali McCoist may be beginning to feel the pace a bit after his long layoff. Just back in the Rangers side, just as Gillespie's in the Liverpool team, but the amount of running required up front certainly is very testing indeed in the stamina. There's a good tackle again by McLeish. In goes McStay. Paul McStay now caught upfield as the French break. There's Blanc. Now Papin dropping deep. He has Loré inside. He has Amoros on the left. It's Amoros who's the target for that pass. Manuel Amoros signalling inside to his teammates. Papin certainly becoming a very disgruntled young man up front. Another foul on Johnston, this time by Sylvester.
The one surprising thing for me is looking at the game overall that for some reason, possibly because of the youth France, that they've tried to match Scotland in the speed of the game and the aggression, and maybe a Platini or a Tigana would have maybe just slowed things down for him, Jock. Which you would expect from a French team, someone who could put their foot in the ball, which they've not had tonight. And they've tried to match Scotland in all the various things attached to British football, and they've failed.
Well, the Czech referee is making it clear that he is being very careful about time wasting. And the way the Scots are playing, they don't really have to consider that too much. The search for a third goal would perhaps be more profitable. There's a goal kick though to France, as Johnston couldn't reach that high pass. Here's Sonar and Loré. Well, a very dramatic fall there by Stefan Pai, which certainly caught the eye of the referee. There's Pai again with Zureb, trying to get that beyond Malpass. Nicol is a supporting player. Nicol's done very well supporting both fullbacks tonight. Goff in the first half and now Malpass. There's Battiston, and the charging player is Roy Aitken. Here's Strachan. The early ball is played in and it's well cut off by Battiston, but Strachan trying to release the front two as early as he could. Here's Zureb, robbed neatly by Goff. Aitken finding Strachan. Here's Mo Johnston with a header. Here's Gillespie going forward. Well, he came forward to such important effect against Norway in the first match, but he's now stranded upfield. Roy Aitken has dropped back to centre-back for the moment, allowing Gillespie to recover as the French build up a move on the right. Here is Loré. Now Blanc. Put in by Loré again. That's too high for Pai and too far ahead of Zureb. And the laboured build-up there allowed Gary Gillespie to get back into his defensive position quickly enough. And a measure of his confidence, I think, Alec, the fact he's prepared to make that sortie forward.
Well, it's one of his strong points, certainly, is breaking from the back. But considering that he's just back playing first-class football, that you would think he would want to take a little break and just settle himself into the back. But then again, it's positive play, and we won't ever detract from that.
There's Papin going through, and that's superb goalkeeping once again. Jim Leighton breaking the heart of Jean-Pierre Papin. It was a magnificent piece of play by the French, and that was top-class goalkeeping. It was just too high from McLeish. Look at the way Papin goes through between the two defenders, controlled it in his chest, the instant shot, and Leighton made that look easy. Oh, here's Paul McStay and Johnston dragging the ball wide and trying to find Steve Nicol with a pass. Here's Zureb, and Scotland exposed for a moment, 3 against 2. Here's Pye, now Papin. Ball played across to the side, and the player chasing forward will not reach it. That is Laurent Blanc.
Well, discipline is part of the game too, and Scotland will just have to be careful that they don't leave holes at the back. There's no need to do that now. They're leading 2-0. It's an important game. There are plenty of players who can score goals. I think the back four have got to say, well, let's pull the reins on ourselves, keep our back four nice and tight. There's no goals against us, and we're in a marvellous position to qualify for Italy.
20 minutes remaining, 2-0 to Scotland. Twice got a touch. Johnston was held surely there by Sylvester. The referee didn't think so. So it's Battiston who comes forward for France. This is Sauzet. Good turn by Pye. Down he goes, and that foul acknowledged by Aiken. The apology not relished by Stefan Pye. A fine turn by the young Frenchman. And the French would like to put on their physio. The referee is not interested in any hold-up in the play. And there's some activity in the Scottish bench again. Brian McClair may well come on. He's stripping off below us.
I think he may come on for Alan McCoist. Jock.
And there's McClair warming up. A free kick to France. Papin plays it in. Headed away by Aiken. It's Papin again. And here's Gordon Strachan now. The only man up for the moment is Mo Johnston. Strachan retains possession. Fine piece of running. Here's Johnston. Roy Aiken's going forward, so is McCoist. Here's Gough. Gough is brought down. Here's problems for Scotland. It's Amoros. He has Pye on the left. Here is Pye. And the offside flag is up. That's a moment of relief for the Scots. Well, Richard Gough will be relieved about that. And there will now be the second substitution. It's Ali McCoist who's going to come off. And Brian McClair going on. At the same time, Christian Perez of Paris Saint-Germain will come on to replace Zureb in attack. So there is Brian McClair, number 15. On goes Perez, and when Ali McCoist sees the board, he will come off. I just listen to the reception from McCoist. Never likes to leave the game early, Ali McCoist, but he has run himself into the ground in the Scottish cause. And now Brian McClair comes on to win his 12th cap for Scotland.
Well, I would hope that Brian McClair will be scoring tonight. He's not scored in these appearances for Scotland. That'll be worrying him, knowing him so well that he'll be wanting to do something about it. And I can't think of a better time than now.
So there is Christian Perez of Paris Saint-Germain, 29-year-old, winning only his second cap tonight. So there is Battiston playing it wide. The French enjoying some possession again. There's Sonor and Loré. There's Brian McClair challenging. So is Paul McStay. Roy Aiken arriving late there, but still around, and the French haven't made progress with some excellent possession play. That's a better pass to open up the defence. Perez. That'll be a Scottish throw, I think. Well, no, the referee disagrees. It looked as though Gillespie had played it against the French player. Here's Laurent Blanc. Well, that's a brilliant turn by Perez. Blanc well tackled by Gordon Strachan, of all people, back helping in defence. Here's Johnston. That's for McClair. Great play from Johnston. Steve Nicol races through the middle. Johnston also waits inside. There gets it back after that attempt at a shot. Now looking for some support. Well, it all went wrong there for McClair in the end. Free kick to France. Pye is number 14, taking it short. With a great early pass from Mo Johnston, releasing McClair. It was obvious that McClair had but one thought in mind. He wanted to go in and have a shot at goal.
I think he's shown his anxiety to score for Scotland. And they sometimes maybe get a little bit desperate, whereas a pass may have been better there for him.
There's Loré, another measured build-up from the French. Gillespie steps in for Scotland once again. What a magnificent player he's been tonight. Waiting to release the pass, and he's brought down there by Loré. Well, Loré bringing down. There's Mo Johnston going forward. It breaks there for McClear. Superb goalkeeping by Batts. Joel Batts coming off his line again like a sprinter. Johnston forcing it across. There was McClear, and Batts to the rescue of France.
I think that just illustrates the inexperience in the French team. They turn their back when they lose the free kick. And it's been a bad experience for them tonight.
Good interception there by Malpass. 14 minutes remaining. Scotland leading by 2-0. And they're in possession again. This is Steve Nicol. Back it goes to McLeish. Gary Gillespie. This will go back to the keeper, I'm sure. Well, the Scottish fans will still prefer it to go forward. Roy Aitken calming things down, organising his men for the middle of the field. There's Johnston again, trying to find Nicol on the left. There's Paul McStay challenging, but not quite collecting the ball. Amoros charging forward. Gillespie going in. Tangle of legs there, and Amoros wants to take a quick free kick. Gillespie not at all happy about that decision, pointing to his groin where he thought the tackle caught him, but Gillespie did look a bit tentative going into that challenge. Seemed to want to steal the ball away rather than go and win it with a bit of strength. Here is a set piece for the French to exploit. 4 men in the wall for Scotland. Superbly struck with a chance for Papin, and Jim Leighton does it again. Congratulated by McLeish, and little wonder. Well, it spilled out of his grasp for the first time tonight. Gough was there, he couldn't clear it. There was Papin, and Leighton recovered.
Some marvellous saves tonight. The first one would come off the surface so quickly that you'd always expect him to get those, but the second save was absolutely brilliant.
Well, it looked inevitable the French would score. They're still coming forward, but here's Steve Nicol. That's for Johnston to chase. Running there was Sonor, and down he goes again. Well, when will the referee take action about this? Sonor must have committed fouls which total double figures, and still no yellow card.
He's probably gave more fouls against Mo Johnston than he would the whole French league. He's taken a battering blow, but he's been willing about it, and he's not complained too much. He's got on with the job.
Well, Scotland win this match. Mo Johnston, I'm sure, will count it one of his best memories, I reckon, after scoring these 2 great goals. There's Johnston again, teeing it up. Back with Gough on his left foot. The linesman was going to raise his flag, but I think he saw the French in possession and didn't give offside, which I think would have been appropriate. Johnston appeared to have sneaked into that offside position. There's Amoros. Too high for Pye, and McLeish turns it across to Malpass. It was Papin rather who was challenging. But here's Steve Nicol. This is McClear, the fresh man up front for Scotland. The intended for Nicol. Frustration again for Brian McClear. Nicol charging back to challenge for possession, running it away for the throw. Back with Battiston, given no peace at all by Roy Aitken. Forced to use his keeper. Great play by Aitken. Battiston takes it back. Interception by McClear. But once again, the pass finds a Frenchman. It hasn't been a happy introduction for Brian McClear so far.
I think he's shown nervousness that caused mainly, I would think, from not scoring a goal for Scotland. I hope he gets his goal tonight because he's a great player.
Here's Sonor coming forward. There's Blanc. He's looked a good player too for France. Aitken makes the tackle. There's a chance for Pye. McClair going back to challenge again. That's good play by Blanc and a dramatic dive. And the referee was not deceived that time. No real protest from Laurent Blanc. He knows he was trying to deceive the referee. A little over 10 minutes remaining. Scotland still leading by 2-0. Temptation must be around now to hold what they have. Well, they've always looked menacing when they've got at the French defence. There's Steve Nicol. Up goes Sylvester. Blanc with Amoros. The tight corner was Perez. Amoros again. That's good play by the French. Nicol's tackle. Here's Brian McClair. Paul McStay picks it up in midfield. Johnston calls for the ball on the left. Here's Steve Nicol. Well, Johnston was calling for it all the time, but the interception was made by Battiston. There's Sonar. Now Loré. Fine player he's looked tonight, Loré. Back with Stefan Pai. Short one to Perez. Pai again, and the man waiting in the middle was Gillespie for Scotland. Stays pass, catches McClair unaware, so it's the French who come forward again. There's Blanc, and the clearance by McLeish. Up goes Johnston. Sonar at full stretch. Amoros plays it into space. Goff is there for Scotland, so is Strachan. And now McClair. Strachan again. Looking for Johnston with a pass. And it's scrambled away by Battiston. There is McStay. Great play by McStay. Here's Richard Goff. Inside is Aiken. And Aiken is taken out of the play late by Papa, and the referee allows play to continue. The French come forward. Here's Perez. A lot of pace, Christian Perez. Richard Goff was in the way, and Gillespie is there, but he's misjudged it. And still Leighton in the right place to receive the shot from Pai. Well, the first error of the match, perhaps this from Gary Gillespie, misjudging the flight of the ball as it bounced over his head.
Well, it's coming towards the end, Jock. A great team performance for my mind, and decisive players have been Jim Waiton has had the vital saves. Maurice Johnson has been the match winner. Paul McStay created just the little bit special things that a good team needs. And Steve Nicol his penetration in both flanks has been three outstanding players.
Andy Roxburgh on the track now, being ushered back by Douglas Hope, the FIFA official. Well, he's having a word with the Scotland coach. He seemed to be talking to Gordon Strachan, so there may be some alterations made. Here's Blanc again. He's had a good second half. Played some excellent passes for France. Slipping as he goes forward, catching Richard Goff on the side of the head there. Goff standing his ground and coming to no harm. Leighton waving Alec McLeish upfield. The ball into the French half. It's won there by Johnston, who couldn't stay on his feet. There's Battiston, hustled there by McClair and Strachan. In midfield it's Amoros. McStay trying to get back. This is Sonar joining the attack. Here is Perez. Good running by Perez again. He's got a shooting chance. Well, coming inside to his right foot, which didn't have the power to test Jim Leighton.
Well, as I said, it's the French have started trying to do something. The substitute Perez has come on and, well, just didn't connect with that correctly, but they'll be desperate to do something now. A goal they may think will bring them back in. I think the game is finished as far as I'm concerned. It's a matter of just keeping it tight for Scotland.
There's McLeish in the way again in the middle. Well, I'm not so confident the match is over as Gordon Strachan fails to control it. 6 minutes remaining on the clock, plus any time rated on by the Czech referee. There's Strachan. Well, he's going to be cut off there. There's a challenge by Aiken. Johnston's layoff is brilliant. It picks up Gordon Strachan. That's for McClair. Great chance now for McClair. Sonar getting back to challenge. Supporting player is Nicol. Inside is Malpass. He wants to link an attack. Here's Nicol again going forward. Malpass gets it back. Here's Steve Nicol again. And the offside flag is up as that pass is released as Malpass tried to link with Nicol. There will be a free kick to France. The French coming forward again. They have to hand it to them. They certainly haven't stopped trying tonight. Played with lots of determination.
Well, I think when you have a great manager like Platini who's done it all, I think any player team you'll have will always try their very best for them. And I think France have done that.
5 minutes left, 2-0 to Scotland. A free kick now as Gordon Strachan goes down and a challenge with Navarros. Brian McClair, what would he give for his first Scotland goal tonight? The referee wants time to tie his bootlace. Well, I hope he doesn't think about adding that on. There's Gordon Strachan now with the free kick. Towards Richard Gough. Up goes Gough. Well, it really is so difficult to beat in the air in these positions. Strachan looking for Gough quite deliberately. Up he goes with a header which is wide of the target.
He's so dangerous in these set pieces. He just seems to hang there for that vital second, which allows him time to get the header in and get above opponent.
Fine control there from Malpass, but asking rather a lot of Maurice Johnston at this stage in the match with the pass into space. So there's the Oil Bats now with the long kick out. No sign yet that the French have given up. They're still trying to come forward. Here's Sylvester and Pai. On the far side is Soze. There's Pai again. Perez comes off his marker. Gets it through the legs of McStay. There's Blom. Scottish defence closing in, only Johnston left up front. Brian McClair's also back, marking in defence. There's Soze. Pai going up. And faint appeals from the French for a foul by Gough and Pai, and Pai has assaulted Richard Gough, I think, inside the box. Gough is on the ground. There was an exchange between the two players. It's left Gough groggy at the edge of the Scottish box. Back at his feet now, but he did appear to be struck by the Frenchman, and Gough has gone down again. There he is, crouching. Well, it was an incident off the ball, and Richard Gough was the victim of Stefan Pai. The long ball forward is headed on by McClair, but it's too far ahead of Gordon Strachan. Well, Gough is still a little bit handicapped for the moment. Challenging Perez there. That struck the arm of McClair. It should be a free kick to France. Indeed it is. Gough now appears to be recovering. The singing from the Scottish fans again. With Laurie under pressure from Paul McStay. That's a free kick all right. The clumsy challenge by McStay. Bonnie Scotland, we'll support you evermore, we're hearing from the fans. It's a long time since that's been heard with such intensity here at Hampden. There's Malpass. The road for the pass back is cut off by Papin. And that's why Malpass had to concede the throw. The referee is checking his watch now. Time certainly running out rapidly. But here's Stefan Pai getting a treatment from the Scottish fans for the assault on Gough. Back from Malpass to Team Leighton. Was Battiston, who was up joining the attack. He certainly has been an inspirational player, the big French number 5, Patrick Battiston. 31 years old, but playing with tremendous spirit and enthusiasm and tremendous skill. Up goes Johnston, he's beaten to that high ball by Sylvester. Good play by Aiken, but there's no one forward to receive that pass.
A few tired legs out there now, Jock, but both sets of players have run themselves out on the ground. A good night for football, and it's been a great advert for the game. As far as I'm concerned, a good Scotland performance, one of the best since away back when they played against Spain 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, Jock.
Yes, reminiscent of that Spanish performance, and Mo Johnston was a key man in that game too, I recall. Up goes Gillespie. Roy Aiken with the pass back. We're into the final minute of the 90 minutes. It looks good for Scotland now. The referee checking his watch carefully. The French now appear to recognise that the task is beyond them. And I wonder if Scotland could finish with a bit of style here with another goal. There goes Mo Johnston. Look at his energy. Bats is out of his goal. Forced to concede the throw. And that was because of the determined running again of Mo Johnston. Well, listen to the bedlam again in Hampden as the Scottish fans get right behind the team. They've relished this tremendous performance. Here's McClair and McStay together. Still McStay crowded out in the end by Amaros and by Loré. The pass goes out of play. A lot of heads hanging now among the Frenchmen. Loré's explanation will now into time being added on for stoppages. So the Scottish fans just waiting to celebrate when the final whistle goes.